Mr. Evolution 777.
Empty spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. On and on, does anybody know what we are looking for?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brett Keene. When I was a kid, I used to love going down either to 7-Eleven or going around the corner where this bar was and turning a right and going into this arcade room where I would play such games as Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Space Ace, all kinds of shit. I've loved video games all my life as well as music. Well, one day I was pleading and begging my mom and stuff, saying, I want to go down to the arcade room, I want to play and stuff, I wanted to get out of the house. So what she does is she's digging through her shit and everything, and she finally grabs up a buck, and she sends me on my way. Well, a buck doesn't really do much, but, you know, it's like a quarter a game, yada, yada, yada. So I'm starting to walk down the sidewalk. This is Morgan 4th Street, St. Louis. You can look it up on a fucking map if you want to, if you actually have that much time on your hands. So I'm walking towards this bar that's right on the corner. I got to cross around it in order to be able to get to the arcade room. And there's this guy sitting there talking to this other feller. And he goes, I can't believe it. The bitch, she took every goddamn thing I've got. She's taken everything. She's got my kids. She's got my family. And I just got nothing left. I've got absolutely nothing left and shit. And I'm hearing the guy, and I'm a little nervous because in St. Louis and stuff, my mom taught me, you don't just walk up to strangers. You don't start fucking, getting into people's business and shit. So I wanted to take a little bit of way out on that situation. So I try to go around him a little bit and everything, but he turns around almost immediately and sees this little chunky kid trying to go around the corner. And he says, hey kid, what the fuck are you doing? Yes, they cuss in St. Louis. Whoa. So I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to head to the arcade room. What am I going to do? Just ignore him and keep on walking by? Yeah, right. Well, he goes, you go into the arcade room and stuff, how much you got? Well, immediately alert went off in my head. I'm like, oh man, what's he wanting to know how much I got for? Is he wanting to steal my money and stuff? Because I heard the dude talking like he didn't have nothing going for him and everything. So I figured, oh shit, my little chunky ass is going to get robbed right here. So I told him, all right, I got a buck and stuff. I said, you're not going to beat my ass, are you? He goes, no. He goes, I got a son and everything like that, and you kind of remind me of him and everything. He says, you only got a buck to play arcade games? Games are a lot more expensive than that. And I go, yeah, I got about 4 games in me and stuff. It's a buck. Mom gave it to me. So he says, all right, kiddo. I tell you what. He reaches into his back pocket. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, he's going to shoot me. But he doesn't. He pulls out a wallet and pulls out a $10 bill and hands it right over to me. And I'm thinking, wow, I was just hearing the guy sitting there talking about how he ain't got nothing and all this shit. Now he's having hard times. Apparently he had some money, though. He was hanging out in front of the fucking bar. So he gives me the money and everything, and I'm fucking excited and happy because I know now that I'm going to be sitting at the goddamn arcade room at least most of the day. And that means I don't have to sit home and listen to my mom and watch her goddamn soap operas with her. She loves the soap operas. Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful. All that kind of shit. Life was already a soap opera. I didn't need to watch it. So what happens is I strut my little ass down the road and everything, heading down the sidewalk, actually. I go up in the arcade room, and I'm playing and enjoying myself. A great deal of time goes by. I suspect my mother was wondering how it is I managed to make $1 go that long. She was under the realization I was good at video games, but you're not going to make a damn dollar last 3 hours, no matter how good of a video game player you are. So what happens is, ladies and gentlemen, is that my mother ends up, climbing out of her usual routine and coming down the sidewalk, coming over and saying, what the hell is going on? How is it that you've been sitting here this long? And I explained to her that this guy gave me $10 and, I've been playing. So she says, well, you need to head home. We got to eat. So, you know, me, little chunky guy, being told it's food time, I'm like, yeah, okay, right on. So, we start walking to the point we come up to the corner where that bar is again. And we're standing there, and I said, this is where the guy was and stuff. And she goes, yeah, I realize it. You told me that already. So what ends up happening is this fellow, he comes out, he notices me out there and stuff, and I'm like, you know, thank you, sir, for the $10 and all that and stuff. And he goes, no problem. I can tell, though, that he's a little bit different. He's not as coherent as he was before, because apparently he'd been drinking the whole time while I was playing video games. Well, my mother and I, we kind of stood there for a moment. We started to take a step forward, but he ended up walking down there was like 2 steps and stuff where the door was and the deal. He walked across the sidewalk and right out into the main road and stuff right in front of the bar. My mother and I watched as he didn't look both ways. He didn't pay attention to what was going on. It was as if he didn't even care. He didn't give a shit. So I watched this stranger who had sat there and gave me $10, didn't even know me, said I reminded him of his son, so I knew he had a family. He walked right out into the road and was hit instantly by a vehicle and dragged a little bit down the road. It wasn't like bam and that's it. It was just a horrible a traumatic thing to see. Here we have a stranger who had basically lost a lot of things in his life. He sees some strange kid he doesn't even know. He does an act of kindness and hands me over $10 and stuff. And to me, as a child, when that happened, $10 meant a big thing.
It was a lot of money back in those days.
Yeah, it was a lot of money, you know, for a kid to have. Right. And that was pretty much it. The guy was ended. And things like that, when you see stuff in your life like that, and being back then I was a believer in God and religion and all that stuff, I'd always believed in a sort of karma. I always was convinced that you reap what you sow. If you do bad things, then bad things happen to you. If you do good things, then good things happen to you. And as far as I'm concerned, a child with a gleam in his eye being given, you know, $10 to be able to go do that when I don't even know the guy personally was a good thing. And to watch somebody be hurt and killed like that
affects you.
Yeah. So that's another personal story and experience in my life, ladies and gentlemen.
The show must go on. Go on, go on. The show must go on. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Feel free to post videos to us, whether they're on topic or not. Share your content by attaching it as a video response. Brett and I will be happy to watch, rate, and share your videos. Please don't forget to rate, sub, and favorite our videos as well. This is a community, so let's help each other. Mr. Evolution 777 can be found on MySpace and Facebook. If you enjoyed Brett's church phone calls, lots can be found at Blip TV. All links can be found in the video descriptions for your convenience. Have a great day.